And welcome one and all to the final battle of Sonic Adventure against Perfect Chaos. Chaos with all 7 Chaos Emeralds, the monster that we've been taught to fear the entire game. The entire game, all the characters have been talking about how terrible it would be if Chaos obtained all 7 Chaos Emeralds. And guess what's happened? Nonetheless, despite the fact that we just barely failed in our endeavor to keep all the Chaos Emeralds away from him, it's up to us to harness the Emerald's positive energy, evidently, and take him out. And I have to say, I absolutely adore this battle, despite some technical limitations. Technical limitations in that the control is really, really sensitive here, and a lot of the time it can be hard to collect rings, so it might make the battle a little bit more superficially difficult without actually being part of the intended design. But I love this battle. You get this amazing soundtrack to it. You get so pumped up, and you're fighting the thing that you've been so intimidated of the entire game. This thing just took out a new and possibly improved version of the Egg Carrier, and we're fighting it one-on-one. Now, as for the battle itself, Chaos has got just a few attacks. He has a giant rain of fireballs. He will make tornadoes when you get close to him, and he'll shoot that giant laser, the same one that took out the Egg Carrier. However, we are Super Sonic. After harnessing the power of the Chaos Emerald, Sonic becomes invincible so long as he has a given quantity of rings. If your rings run out to 0, though, and they're running out over time, keep in mind, you will die. So you have to be sure to pick up some rings from these destroyed pieces of highway along the way. And the only thing that Chaos's attacks do to you is slow you down like that, so you won't be able to attack him. Because in order to do damage to Chaos, you have to be running at top speed when you run into him. Otherwise, you'll just shoot out of his chest or throat or whatever, just like that. That's where the danger in this battle comes in. You have to be sure not to get hit by him too many times in a row while you're running at him, or else you're going to run out of rings and you will die. Your first time through, almost a guaranteed thing to happen. Especially since it's so difficult to pick them up because of the sensitivity of the control. Nonetheless, I do still love this battle, and it's so well done with the mood and everything. Oh, dang it. And you can't go backward and build up speed again, by the way. So, be sure to try not to get hit by his attacks on the way there. I love the mood here in the first half of the battle. Before you hit him 3 times, you get this super amazing song by Crush 40, Open Your Heart, and it just pumps you up so much. And then in the second half of the battle, when his attacks increase in intensity and cause it to be more difficult to hit him and to keep all your rings and stuff, you get this really apocalyptic sounding song instead. And overall, it just fits the mood of the battle so well, and I love it. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and hit Chaos. Oh, were we not up to full speed that time? Dang it! See, this battle, especially if you're out of practice or you haven't played it before, can be incredibly difficult. So, 3 more hits on Chaos and he will be down. There's 3 hits in the first half of the battle and 3 hits in the second half. The bosses in this game are a little bit sporadic with their amounts of health, but it's 6 in total here, which isn't a ridiculous amount considering some bosses earlier in the game had 5, and that's not too far off from what we're dealing with right now. Anyway, that should do it. Yes, it does, and we burst out of Chaos's brain, which is a little bit gruesome now that I think about it, and do some damage to him. Though I have to keep an eye on my ring counter up in the top left because we're down to only 10 rings, and if those run out, it is all over. Make sure, then, to explore all the pieces of highway that you can, and if you're getting low on rings, don't be afraid to walk around and pick some up. When you're going slow as Super Sonic, it's not terribly difficult to control, but I suppose that's a given. When things are going faster, they're usually a little bit more difficult to handle. But, oh, one of those fireballs hit us, so it kind of threw us off our course there. Let's go ahead and pick these up and continue on. Almost thrown directly into those tornadoes by that booster there. Let's see if we can pick up enough speed by the time we get to Chaos. Ah, no, he hit us again. It doesn't look like this battle's going too terribly well. Unfortunately, we can't destroy his brain, and I don't know if he actually has a brain up there. I never really bothered to look that closely at the model. But when he's Chaos 0, you can see his little brain and the little brain stem sticking out of it, and it's kind of disgusting, but I suppose that's what we're trying to attack now. Ah, yeah, he actually does. So let's go off to the left here, because there's some more rings that we haven't picked up, and yeah, every time you get sent back here after hitting or failing to hit Chaos, the rings that you've already picked up will not be present anymore, so you have to be careful about that as well. You really have to spread out your ring intake and make sure you get hit as little as possible, or else you're going to run out of rings very easily. Anyway, 1 more hit and Chaos is doomed. One more thing I would like to sort of just comment on just for the heck of it, I guess. Chaos looked really good in the CG scenes, right? And here he looks a little bit janky. He does still look intimidating and stuff just because he's this giant, massive water dragon. Who wouldn't be intimidated by that, but significantly less than in the CG. Either way, though, there goes Perfect Chaos, and we've defeated the final boss of Sonic Adventure.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
Chaos has changed again, this time for the better.
Yeah! Supersonic must have neutralized it, so it's nice again.
These are the Chao you were protecting. They stayed alive for generations and now live peacefully with humans. The fighting's over, harmony's restored, and life goes on. Thank you so much.
All's well that ends well, right? Sonic?
And that, my friends, was the end of Sonic Adventure. What a fantastic game. First of all, before I get into my fanboyish sort of gushing, I'd just like to say thank you all so very much for sticking with me through this project. I loved playing through this game, and I loved seeing your guys' feedback on it, and it was so much fun having this entire experience with all of you, and I'd like to thank you all very much for being so patient with me throughout all of it. Anyway, Sonic Adventure, what a fantastic game. I know it gets a lot of flack these days for not having held up too well, and I'll admit, right off the bat, there are a lot of technical shortcomings with this game, whether it's graphically, even as I mentioned in the Perfect Chaos fight, it doesn't look perfect, ironically enough, I guess. There are glitches where you can fall through walls, there are some camera snafus here and there, but you know what? Despite all that, Sonic Adventure remains to this day, at least in my opinion, an incredibly fun experience. The diversity of level design makes every replaythrough of this game just as fun as it was the last time. The exciting style of gameplay keeps you captivated every time you go through it. I love this game, and I love the soundtrack, and I love what they tried to do with the story and all of the characters, and it's just great. Sonic Adventure overall is a wonderful experience, and it was a great foray into the world of 3D games for Sonic, I believe. This was the game that was meant to rival Super Mario 64, and while I think it'd be a little bit unfair to do a comparison of the two since they are sort of different in gameplay styles, I think Sonic Adventure did a wonderful job bringing Sonic into the 3D world. Now, Tikal, unfortunately, doesn't make another appearance in the entire series to this date, except as a multiplayer character in Sonic Adventure 2, but she never really has any bearing on any story in the future. Of course, Sonic Adventure did try to make the Sonic story a lot darker than it had previously been in, like, the Genesis games. And a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like the voice acting. A lot of people didn't like the addition of new characters such as Big and Gamma and all them, but I did. Even though it was quite the teamship and friend work ending there with every playable character gathering the Chaos Emeralds for Sonic. And yes, Gamma was there. If you remember, Gamma was the pink birdie, and he was present right next to Amy. I don't know. It was a wonderful ending overall, really exciting, really exhilarating, just like the rest of this game, and I loved it. So, other than repeat what I've already said about this game, I don't know how much more there is to say. It's wonderful, it's fun, and I recommend, if you haven't already, you try it. It's available on the PSN and Xbox Live Arcade, as far as I know. So, it's something that every Sonic fan should certainly try if they haven't already. And hey, if you've got nostalgia for it as well, why not go and play through it again? Anyway, I'd like to thank you all once again so much for watching this project. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I love this game, if I haven't made it clear already. And I will see you guys some other time for another Let's Play.